Little girl's heartwarming plea to save her hair revealed a millionaire's incredible touching revelation. Mia was no ordinary girl, her spirit deep and her heart warm. At 10 years old, she carried a wave of long, beautiful hair that bounced with every joyful step, a vibrant cascade of curls that shimmered like sunlight. Each strand was a testament not only to her childhood but also to her late mother, who had lovingly braided it every evening. They would sit together, laughing and sharing dreams that felt as distant as the stars above their struggling inner-city neighborhood. But dreams were often hard to keep alight, especially after her father, a proud veteran, lost his job. It felt like a heavy cloud hung over their home, painted with worry and sacrifice. Still, within that cloud, the spirit of their community thrived. Neighbors banded together, sharing meals, laughter, and love like a woven tapestry, stitched with resilience. As the weeks rolled on in their little world, the air buzzed with the announcement of a charity event at a local hair salon. Mia's heart fluttered with excitement. She envisioned herself transforming her hair into hope. "I want to give my hair to kids fighting cancer," she declared bravely, her voice ringing clear like a bell. When Mia stepped onto the makeshift stage at the salon, a hush fell over the room. Her plea echoed through, and eyes softened while murmurs rippled through the crowd. The flutter of admiration mixed with disbelief. Could such a young girl possess such courage? Her determination was as palpable as the heat of summer surrounding them. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Mia's heartfelt words ignited a spark in an unexpected listener, a wealthy entrepreneur who had risen from a background not unlike Mia's. He stood at the back of the room, initially mistaking the gathering for another social obligation. However, as Mia's spirit shone brighter, burying the perceptions tied to his wealth, an invisible chain began to break. That bond between them stirred excitement but also doubt among onlookers, wondering if a millionaire and a little girl from the streets could really connect. Whispers spread like wildfire, filled with misconceptions about his understanding of their everyday struggles. Was he just another affluent outsider? Yet something extraordinary brewed through Mia's bravery. He found himself on a journey of humility, tasting memories of compassion long forgotten. Yet as the community rallied behind Mia's mission, hope blossomed. The million-dollar question began to echo in their hearts: could shared experiences truly bridge the economic chasm? Just as they felt unity tightening, news of unexpected turmoil surged forth, shaking their resolve. A challenge emerged, threatening to pull Mia away from her dreams and her community. Will this bond remain unbroken against the tides of prejudice? The air buzzed thick with uncertainty, leaving everyone on edge. As the event drew closer, hearts raced, and the story hung delicately on the brink of wonder and despair. What was next in this tale of resilience and connection? Only time would tell. Mia's excitement about the upcoming event swirled into anxiety when she learned the harsh reality of funding it. The charity had faced unexpected challenges, and the anticipated donations were dwindling. With every passing day, she watched the hopeful smiles of her neighbors transform into worried frowns. Why can't they see? She thought, sitting on the front stoop of her home, her golden curls catching the light of the setting sun. Uncertainty gnawed at her heart. Would her sacrifice still mean something if the event couldn't go on? Frustrated, she gripped her hair tightly, picturing the children who needed help more than anything. One evening, while her father sat in the living room lost in thought, Mia mustered her courage to approach him. "Daddy," she whispered, "do you think they're going to be okay?" He looked at her, his blue eyes clouded with worry. "I wish I could say yes, sweetheart. It's a tough world out there. But hope is stronger than many think." Mia nodded, feeling his love wrap around her like a warm blanket, but the uncertainty remained. She needed a plan. With her heart pounding in her chest, she decided to visit the wealthy entrepreneur, Mr. Thompson, who had been quietly observing her at the charity event. That next day, she made her way to his grand office, a stark contrast to her humble neighborhood. It towered above the streets she knew so well. Mia felt tiny amidst the polished glass and gleaming decor, but she pushed away her fear. This was about more than just herself. It was about the children. Mr. Thompson greeted her with a surprised smile, motioning for her to sit. Mia, was it? He asked, his voice soothing. Yes, sir, she replied, her nerves trembling her voice. I came because I heard the charity is struggling. I wanted to help. I thought maybe you could help too. The glimmer in his eye caught her attention. What do you mean? I want to cut my hair, and I want you to tell everyone. I want people to see that it can make a difference. Kids my age, we need to show them that we care, she continued, her determination shining through. Mr. Thompson looked at her, a ripple of admiration washing over his expression. You have a brave heart, Mia. But how will cutting your hair help? They'll remember me. My hair will remind them that something beautiful came from love, the love I shared with my mom. And if they care enough to donate, it could save lives. His silence thickened in the room, and Mia's heart raced. Could he understand what she was saying? As she spoke, she noticed a twinkle of recognition in his eyes. The weight of compassion pulled him closer to her cause. Mia, I believe you're onto something. But it's going to take more than just courage. We have to rally the whole community. Then let us do it together, she urged, the flicker of hope igniting beneath the ashes of doubt. Mr. Thompson nodded, the flicker of a plan starting to form. All right, let us create a campaign. We'll show them the power of unity. But as excitement brewed for the charity event, shadows lurked at the edges. Word soon spread that Mia's gesture would not only shine a light on the charity but would also uncover secrets hidden deeper than she could imagine. What would happen when the past and present collided? Would the community rise to the occasion, or would the darkness pull them all apart? Mia could only hope that their bond was stronger than the storms ahead. The clock was ticking. And as Mia stared out the office window at the city that swallowed its dreams, she couldn't shake the feeling that something monumental was on the cusp of unfolding. What began as a simple act of love was about to spiral into a much bigger story. Mia left Mr. Thompson's office with a renewed sense of purpose. She felt light on her feet, a thrilling rush coursing through her veins. Every detail of his words echoed in her mind as she walked back home, imagining how her plan could inspire everyone around her, especially the children who needed it the most. When Mia finally stepped through her front door, her father was still seated in his chair, flipping through a magazine. He looked up, a mixture of curiosity and relief washing over his face. Did you talk to him? He asked, eyes brightening. Yes. And he actually wants to help. Her smile could have lit up the entire room. We're going to spread the word. I'll cut my hair, and we'll make a campaign. Her father set the magazine down and stood, pulling her into a warm embrace. You're brave, Mia. Your heart is so big. This could change everything. The next few days raced by as Mia and Mr. Thompson brainstormed ideas. They envisioned colorful posters, engaging social media posts, and community events that would showcase her mission. Mia gave each idea her all, spending long hours planning after school, fueled by passion and an unwavering belief that they could succeed. But just as hope blossomed, whispers started weaving through her neighborhood. People talked about Mia's plans, the cutting of her hair becoming more than just a selfless act. There were murmurs about what it represented, a sacrifice, but also curiosity as to why such a young girl would choose to make a public display of herself like this. One afternoon, while crafting her first poster, Mia felt a knot of fear twist in her stomach. What were they saying about her? Did they think she was just a kid seeking attention? She paused, her fingers hovering over the bright markers, her heart racing. Mia! Called her best friend, Emma, bursting through the door. You've got to see this. What is it? Mia asked, her heart still racing from the earlier doubt. Emma handed her the phone, and Mia read the post. It showed a video of Mia from the charity event, discussing her plans in passionate detail. Hundreds of shares and countless comments decorated the screen. Some were heartwarming, while others were less kind. "You're amazing," cheered one commenter. "I can't believe you are doing this." But there were other voices too, doubting her intentions. "What is she thinking?" a user wrote. "Is this all for show?" Mia felt her heart sink. How could she turn the tide of doubt? She feared that instead of inspiring, she was drawing judgment. "Just ignore them," Emma suggested, trying to comfort her. "You know why you're doing this." "But what if they don't see it that way?" Mia replied, her voice shaking. The overwhelming pressure weighed heavily on her. That evening, after Emma left, Mia paced her room, wrestling with the decision before her. Did she have the strength to carry this burden? Was it selfish of her to want validation from others? She lay down in bed, staring at the ceiling, her heart drumming in uncertainty. "You can do this," she muttered to herself, but the assurance felt fragile. The next day, at school, was even harder. Friends and classmates whispered and glanced her way. Mia could feel the curiosity turning into speculation. She took a deep breath and found herself standing before her homeroom class, determined to speak. "Hey everyone, I know you've heard about my hair," she began, her voice trembling slightly but growing steadier with each word. "I just wanted you to know why I'm doing this is so important to me." But before she could finish, she noticed the disinterested expressions and the flickering phones aimed at her. A sinking feeling clawed at her heart. Would her words reach them, or would they harden into more misunderstandings? Just when she thought she could break through, the bell rang, shattering her thoughts and leaving them unfinished. She walked out of the classroom, unsure if her message had even mattered. As she stepped into the hall, Mia's mind raced. What if the darkness around her plans began to drown out the light they were meant to cast? Unbeknownst to her, Mr. Thompson was watching from the school's entrance. He had seen enough to know that Mia was about to face far greater challenges than she'd ever anticipated. And as he stepped forward, he clenched a folder filled with ideas, ready to extend a lifeline she might desperately need. What would Mr. Thompson propose? Would it be enough to lift Mia's spirits and reshape the community's perception? Time was running short, and Mia felt the pressure weighting heavily on her small shoulders. Mia stood in the bustling hallway, her heart pounding against her chest. The chatter and laughter around her felt like a distant echo, as if she were trapped behind glass. She glanced toward Mr. Thompson, hoping for reassurance from the man who had believed in her cause. Instead, he seemed deep in thought, his gaze fixed on the papers in his hands. "Hey, Mia!" A familiar voice broke through the noise. It was David, a boy from her class. He pulled her aside, a curious look on his face. "I saw that video. Why are you cutting your hair? Is it really for those kids?" Mia felt the eyes of nearby classmates drifting toward them, heard the whispers tickle her ears. This was at the moment she had tried to prepare for. Taking a deep breath, she replied, "Yes. I want to raise awareness for those who need support. It's more than just a haircut." David blinked, his brow furrowing. "But you're just a kid. How can you help them?" Her face reddened. "I don't want to just sit back and do nothing. I want to show everyone that you can make a difference, no matter how small you are." He chuckled uneasily and drifted back into the crowd, leaving Mia standing with her racing thoughts. Doubt crept again. Maybe he was right. Was she just being naive? As the afternoon wore on, Mr. Thompson finally approached Mia. He had a determined gleam in his eye that sparked hope within her. "I couldn't help but overhear your conversation, Mia." He spoke gently, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Things won't always be easy, especially when you step out to make a change. But remember, every voice matters." He opened the folder he had been carrying, revealing a beautifully designed flyer. The bold letters read, "Change is here." Mia's eyes widened as he explained his plan to host an assembly at school, inviting people from the community to come and share their stories about overcoming challenges. It would put the spotlight on her mission, giving everyone a chance to see the real purpose behind her haircutting campaign. But what if they don't care? What if they don't even show up? Mia's voice trembled, reflecting her swirling worries. "Sometimes it takes one brave voice to awaken others," he replied calmly. You might inspire someone to join you who understands your vision. Mia felt a flicker of excitement spark within her. Hosting an assembly could reach people in a way she hadn't considered before. Maybe this was what she needed to turn the tide. With newfound energy, she began brainstorming ways to make the assembly captivating. She imagined a big stage, colorful posters, and stories that touched the hearts of everyone in attendance. Yet a nagging voice in her heart whispered doubts. Would her friends back her up? And would adults really listen to a kid like her? As the days passed, preparations for the assembly intensified. Mia spent her evenings writing speeches, gathering volunteers, and working with Mr. Thompson on the event's logistics. But as excitement built, so did the rumors, spreading like wildfire across the school. The whispers grew louder. They echoed in her mind, feeding her insecurities. The night before the assembly, she lay wide awake in bed. Was she ready for this? Would she truly be able to stand up and speak to everyone, knowing how divided opinions already were? At sunrise, her father found her curled up in her blanket, anxiety swirling in the air. "You're excited, huh?" he asked, trying to lighten the mood. Mia nodded, though her heart sank. "What if they don't care about what I have to say?" Her father sat beside her, holding her hands. "Your voice matters. Speak from your heart, and remember, it takes just one moment to change everything." With a deep breath, Mia sat up and thought of those children waiting for help. She glanced at the poster taped to her wall, the bold letters shimmering under the morning light. She had to try, for them. As the clock ticked closer to the assembly, she readied herself. But just as she stepped outside, a flood of messages lit up her phone screen, revealing something that made her freeze in place. What shocking revelation awaited her? Was this the challenge that would tip her courage into despair, or would it fortify her resolve to go forth and stand tall against the tide? Mia's hands shook as she scrolled through the messages flooding her phone. The first was from a classmate, a picture of a group of students huddled around a computer, laughing, pointing directly at her video. The second was a blunt text from another friend. "You know you're just a kid, right? This is dumb." A third message arrived, this one from an anonymous account. "No one believes in you. Just give up." Each notification felt like a punch to her gut. Anger flared, but it quickly fizzled into a dense fog of doubt. In that moment, the excitement she built for the assembly slipped through her fingers like sand. Tears fizzed in her eyes, blurring the words on the screen, but she blinked them away, refusing to let them fall. She stood frozen on her porch, the world around her fading into silence. Had she really thought she could make a difference? That she could inspire people? A wave of shame washed over her, and she wished desperately to retreat inside the safety of her home. But just then, her father stepped outside, sensing something was wrong. "Hey, what's up?" he asked, his voice calm yet filled with concern. He could read her like a book. Mia thrust her phone at him, the screen still glowing with harsh truths. "They think I'm stupid, Dad. I'm just a kid, and I am scared I'll fail." He took a deep breath as he scanned the messages, his brow furrowing. "You know what? Every time someone steps forward with a dream, there will be doubters. You've got to remember why you're doing this." His hands were warm and strong as he gently squeezed her shoulders. "You think I shouldn't do it then?" she whispered, her voice quaking. "No, that's not it at all. I think you should fight harder. The world needs more people like you, Mia. Sometimes, standing up takes more bravery than fits in your little chest." He smiled softly, and the warmth of his reassurance melted her anxiety just a fraction. The assembly wasn't about her. It was about the kids dependent on her, the ones who didn't get to voice their fears. With trembling resolve, Mia wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. "I guess I can try." "Trying is all anyone can ask of you," he replied, his tone encouraging. Just then, Mia remembered the flyer Mr. Thompson had shown her. What about those stories? What if others share real experiences? Maybe that would help to see they aren't alone. A spark ignited in her imagination, a wave of perseverance washed over her. She sat down on the porch steps, her heartbeat steadying. "If I can reach even just one person, then it's worth it." Determined, she began typing her response to her classmates. Thanks for your opinions. I know it won't be easy, but I believe in this cause. If you want to know more about why this matters or support, I'd love to chat. With one last deep breath, she hit send. Just as she was about to capitalize on the momentum of her newfound strength, another notification pinged. It was from an unknown number with a familiar local area code. I heard about your assembly. I want to help. There's more to this than you think. Her heart raced. Who was this? What did they know? Hope swelled again. Could this be that twist she needed to uplift her advocates and secure her cause? With renewed purpose, Mia prepared herself, more determined than before. She felt a warm rush of emotion cascade over her like a wave. Was this the start of something even bigger than she anticipated? As she gathered her things, fueled by the idea that every single voice could create ripples of change, one pressing thought remained: would she be prepared for whoever was reaching out next, and what they might ask of her? Mia took a deep breath. The energy around her shifted as curiosity pulled her closer to the unknown number. What if this was the breakthrough she needed? She opened the message again, her heart thumping wildly. I want to help. The words lingered in her mind, filling her with a mix of hope and apprehension. Just then, her father stepped back inside the house, leaving her alone with her thoughts. The warm evening air brushed against her cheeks, and she clenched her phone tightly in her hands. Should she reply? What if this turned out to be someone just messing with her? But the idea that someone believed in her enough to reach out to offer help sent a shiver of courage through her. Okay, here goes, she whispered to herself, tapping back at the screen with barely visible fingers. Who are you? What do you know? After hitting send, she paced the porch, her thoughts racing with possibilities. Meanwhile, outside, the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. It felt almost symbolic, like a reminder that even after darkness, light could return. Minutes stretched on, each tick of the clock amplifying her nervousness. Finally, her phone buzzed again. She jumped at the sound, quickly glancing down at the screen. I know it seems hard right now, but every movement starts with just one voice. I can help you gather more support. Mia read the words over and over. A movement. Her heart raced at the idea, and a wave of excitement washed over her. What if she really could reach more people? What if her assembly could grow into something larger? Her fingers worked quickly across the keyboard. What do you mean? How can you help? A moment passed before the reply came. Meet me tomorrow at the park by the old oak tree. I have something important to share with you. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Mia's heart pounded. She remembered the oak tree, the one sometimes used for school picnics. Safe and familiar, yet meeting someone she didn't know there sent a shiver down her spine. Should I? She murmured to herself, biting her lip. Her dad had said to fight harder, to seek support. But what if this was a trick? What if she was putting herself in danger? Then she thought about those kids, the ones who felt alone and unheard. She thought about the spark of hope that had ignited her spirit just hours before. If I can reach even one person, she had said, that one person might just be her. With a newfound determination, Mia decided. She would go. I'll find out who this person is and what they can offer. After another moment's hesitation, she texted back, okay, I'll be there. As she slipped her phone into her pocket, she felt a wave of thoughts, excitement and fear, tangled together like vines. Life had a way of leading her on unexpected paths, but maybe this could be the turning point she needed. The next morning, she dressed carefully, choosing her favorite green shirt, the one that reminded her of fresh starts. She felt a mix of confidence and anxiety bubbling in her chest. She could make a difference, even if the journey wasn't clear yet. On her walk to the park, she felt the familiar sun warming her back, yet she couldn't shake the nerves gripping her. What could this person want? Was she really ready for whatever was coming next? As she reached the giant oak tree, it loomed like a silent witness, branches swaying gently in the breeze. Her heart raced, anticipation building. But the moment she laid eyes on the figure waiting for her, everything inside her shifted. It was someone she never expected to see there, someone who held secrets greater than she could imagine. Mia stepped closer, her stomach knotting. What had she walked into? Would this experience break her? Or would it finally unveil the truth she needed to embrace her mission? Mia's steps slowed as she approached the figure. The sunlight streamed through the leaves, casting a dappled pattern on the ground. Her heart raced, caught between fear and curiosity. The silhouette became clearer. A familiar face emerged, one she had seen across school halls. Oliver? She breathed, barely recognizing the boy who had once been the cute class clown. Today, he looked older, more serious. His expression was focused, like he was ready to share something important. Mia, he said, his voice steady. I'm glad you came. She nodded, trying to catch her breath. Why did you want to meet? What do you know about the assembly? Oliver glanced around as if ensuring they were alone. I've been hearing things. He hesitated before continuing. About what's happening at school, about the way people are treating each other. I know about your fight to make a change. Mia felt a rush of energy. Someone was listening to her. You want to help? More than that, he replied. I think we can create something powerful together. Mia's eyes widened as the gravity of his words settled in. She sensed a storm of opportunities swirling between them. What do you have in mind? Oliver stepped closer, lowering his voice. I've been brainstorming ideas for a new project. It could be a platform to unite students, to empower them. We could reach out to not just the school but the community too. Mia swallowed hard, her brain buzzing with possibilities. She had spent so long feeling isolated in her mission. Now, here was a spark, a collaborator who could help fan the flames of her ambition. That sounds incredible. But how? We start by organizing an event, Oliver explained, enthusiasm lighting up his face. Something fun and engaging. We can use social media, bring in local businesses for support, maybe even set up workshops or discussions. Show them they're not alone. Mia felt a wave of warmth spread throughout her chest. Workshops? Like sharing stories? Exactly, he said, a smile breaking through. We can create a safe space for everyone to express themselves. We need to create a movement, not just an assembly. The thought of pulling everyone together, giving voice to the unseen, sent a thrill through her veins. But won't it be hard? Anything worth doing is hard, he said firmly. But with the right team, we can do this. I'll help you get started, but you need to rally support. You have to believe in this. Mia's pulse quickened. This was the moment she'd been waiting for, the chance to create real change. But doubt crept back in. And what if I fail? What if no one shows up? Oliver stepped closer, his expression earnest. What if they do? Even if you only reach a few, that's still a few more people who feel less alone. You have to try. She took a deep breath, visualizing the faces of her classmates, those who felt lost, alone, like she once had. Could she really lead them? Mia, he urged softly, this is bigger than us. You have a voice. Use it. As the weight of his challenge landed, she felt a flicker of something hope. Okay, she whispered, her voice stronger. Let us do it. Just then, her phone buzzed in her pocket. She pulled it out, puzzled. A notification flashed across the screen. Are you ready for the next step? The real challenge begins now. Her heart sank, realizing this wasn't just Oliver's secret anymore. It was leading her into the unknown, a plunge into uncertainty. What does that mean? She asked, anxiety creeping back. Oliver's brow furrowed as he took a step back. I have a feeling we're about to find out. What were they about to face, and could Mia really lead this movement? The challenge loomed ahead like an approaching storm, and in that moment, Mia knew they needed to stand together or risk being swept away. Mia's mind raced as she processed Oliver's words. The sun had begun to dip lower in the sky, casting long shadows that danced around them. She felt a mix of excitement and dread swirling inside her. A moment earlier, she'd been looking for answers, and now here she was, standing at the edge of something that could redefine her entire existence. What do you think it means? She asked, glancing nervously at her phone. The notification glowed ominously, a beckoning call to the unknown. I don't know, Oliver admitted. But whatever it is, we can handle it together. Let us figure this out. His confidence sparked something in her. Standing there with him, knowing they were on the same page, made her heart feel a little less heavy. Okay, she said, gripping her phone tightly. Let us meet up with some friends. We need to gather support. If we're going to do this, we need energy, ideas, and lots of voices. Let us do it this weekend, he suggested. We can plan everything out. The more brains we have, the better. Mia nodded, ignoring the flicker of doubt that still lingered at the back of her mind. Overwhelmed, she pulled out her notebook, her trusty companion in times like this. Let us set it up. Workshops on Saturday. We can create an event name, maybe Voices United? Perfect. And we can make a flyer to share online, Oliver added. I can talk to my cousin who does graphic design. He might help us design it. Mia barely realized she was smiling. The thrill of planning rushed back in, washing away a bit of her uncertainty. They started jotting down ideas, tossing back and forth the different themes and topics they'd like to cover. But then, the phone buzzed again. She hesitated before looking down. The message read, Trust in yourself and embrace the change. Your voice is needed. Mia felt a chill run down her spine. She had no idea who was sending these messages, but the words resonated deeply. There's more to this, she said, her voice almost a whisper. It feels like a challenge, like someone knows what we're trying to do. Maybe they want to help us, Oliver suggested, hopeful but cautious. Or maybe it's a more personal thing for you. Her heart sank a little. But what if it's a distraction? I can't afford to get distracted now. This project means everything to me. The weight of that thought pressed on her. Oliver took a small step closer. Mia, we can't control what we don't know. But we can control how we respond. You're strong. You have a vision. Let us focus on making this event happen, and whoever is behind those messages can't take that away from us. Mia looked into Oliver's eyes, feeling fortified. You're right. This is about so much more than just us. It's for everyone who has felt the way I have. They finished their brainstorming, laughter breaking the tension as they threw out more ideas, filling pages of Mia's notebook with possibilities. Yet in the back of her mind, that nagging feeling lingered. As evening rolled in, Mia and Oliver promised to meet again soon. They said their goodbyes, but as she walked away, Mia glanced back, entranced by the sunset's fiery hues. But when she glanced at her phone again, she saw one last message. Are you ready to confront the truth? What truth? A knot twisted in her stomach. This was becoming more than just a project. Mia sensed she was on the brink of something significant, maybe even dangerous. And the questions gnawed at her. Would she be brave enough to face whatever this journey had in store? With each step home, she felt the weight of the world resting on her shoulders. Could she lead this movement and withstand the upcoming storm? And what awaited her next? Mia hardly slept that night. Her mind was too busy whirring like a car engine in overdrive. The mystery of the messages danced through her thoughts, but so did the plans for Voices United. The next morning, she woke to a golden sun streaming through her window, a welcome shift from the gloom of her worries. But even with that light, a sense of foreboding lingered in the corners of her mind. As she sat on the edge of her bed, she breathed deeply, reminding herself of the purpose behind this project. Later that day, she and Oliver met in the park, surrounded by the sounds of laughter and bustling activity. Kids chased each other, their voices filled with joy, while couples strolled hand in hand. But for Mia, the world felt heavy. She pulled out her notebook and began flipping through her notes. The potential for Voices United was immense, yet the shadows of uncertainty hung over her. Ready to get started? Oliver asked, his voice warm and encouraging. Honestly? I'm still grappling with those messages, she admitted. What if it's leading us into trouble? Oliver furrowed his brow, then placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. We can't let that distract us from our goal. We owe it to ourselves and everyone else to keep moving forward. Let us focus on what we're passionate about. As they began discussing logistics, Mia felt the tensions slowly begin to ease. The more ideas they threw around, the more excited she became. They decided on workshop themes and brainstormed speakers, each edition sparking renewed energy in her. But as evening approached, Mia's phone buzzed again, louder this time, like a siren pulling her in. She hesitated, then opened it. The message read, "The truth lies within your reach. Will you embrace it?" "Who is it this time?" Oliver asked, glancing over her shoulder. "I wish I knew," she murmured, her heart racing. "But it feels like a warning. Like they know something about me." "Mia, we'll figure it out," Oliver said with unwavering support. "You're not alone in this." The upcoming weekend loomed before them like an adventure, yet it was mixed with the uncertainty stemming from the mystery surrounding the texts. Could it be a prank? Or was someone genuinely trying to guide her on this path? As days turned into a blur, Mia found herself immersed in preparations. They designed the flyer, choosing bold colors and impactful slogans that resonated with her vision. The church basement was booked, and she and Oliver had confirmed their first 3 speakers. Each accomplishment felt like stepping stones leading her toward a shimmering horizon. But even with all the activity, the question still loomed large. What truth awaited her? Was she brave enough to unravel it? And then, just as they were about to post the event flyer online, her phone rang. The familiar number flashed on the screen. It was her older sister, Karen. Mia quickly answered, eager for a familiar voice. "Hey! I wanted to check in on you. Heard about your project." Karen's voice was buoyant, but Mia could sense something beneath the surface. "Thanks. It's been a whirlwind," honestly she started, but Karen interrupted. "Listen, Mia, there's something I need to tell you. It's important." Just as Mia felt a swell of curiosity, the line went silent. An eerie tension filled the air, and she could almost hear her own heart pounding. "Karen?" she called out. But instead of an answer, there was only static on the line. Mia's stomach churned. What was happening? Was this linked to the mysterious messages? She turned to Oliver, who had been listening intently. "We need to know what's going on, and fast." As they raced to her sister's house, dread settled heavy in Mia's chest. What awaited them at the end of this journey? And would they uncover the truth before it was too late? The car ride felt interminable, the world outside blurring into a rush of colors, but nothing could distract Mia from the gnawing uncertainty. Questions raced in her mind as she sat next to Oliver, who kept glancing at her with a steady expression, trying to mask his own concern. "Are you ready for this?" he asked, his voice cutting through the tension. "I don't know," Mia admitted, biting her lip. "What if it's something bad? I can't handle more doubt." "We're in this together," he assured, taking her hand. "You've built something special, and it's time to see what Karen has to say." When they arrived, Mia barely had time to think as she rushed into her sister's small apartment, heart hammering against her ribs. The smell of fresh coffee hung in the air, mixing with the comfort of worn furniture that had been in the family for years. "Karen!" Mia called, her voice echoing in the silence. Karen appeared from the kitchen, her face drawn, a mixture of excitement and trepidation reflecting in her eyes. "Mia, I'm so glad you're here. We need to talk." Mia caught her breath. "What's going on?" Karen took a deep breath, glancing at Oliver before locking eyes with Mia. "I've been hearing things about your project. I think you're about to embark on something bigger than you realize." Mia's heart raced. She wanted to push, to demand answers, but the weight of Karen's words hung in the air like a promise. "What do you mean?" "I heard whispers about folks in the community, people who want to support you," Karen said slowly, choosing her words carefully. "But there are also those who are skeptical. There's a division on how your intentions are being received. Some think it's just a kid's dream. Others believe it's the spark our neighborhood needs." Mia's chest tightened. It was becoming evident that she was sitting at a crossroads. "But how do I bridge that gap?" "That's why I'm here," Karen replied, determination lighting her expression. "I found out that some of the local businesses would be willing to collaborate. They want to help, but only if they see the community genuinely supports you." Mia felt a rush of hope mixed with fear. But what if they don't take me seriously? I'm just a kid. You are so much more than just a kid, Karen stated firmly, squeezing Mia's hand. Your voice is powerful, and there are always those who will be ready to listen. Exactly, Oliver chimed in, his excitement lighting up the room. They just need to see the impact of what you're doing. Once they do, they'll all want to join in. As Mia listened, a wave of courage surged through her. After the doubts, the cruel words, and the shadows of uncertainty, this was the support she needed. Okay, she said, standing taller. Let's reach out to them. I want to show everyone the difference we can make. The trio spent the rest of the evening strategizing, jotting down ideas and plans for outreach, each moment fueling her spirit. Mia could feel the fire returning, blossoming with every word of encouragement, and every idea shared amongst them. The next day at school, Mia was a whirlwind of determination. She approached classmates, helped organize a meeting with local businesses, and presented her vision for Voices United, with an impassioned speech that left her peers buzzing with excitement. The whispers began to shift direction. More students gravitated towards her cause, fueled by her genuine belief and contagious energy. As the assembly approached, her phone chimed with another message. Are you ready to welcome the truth? The familiar apprehension surged, but this time Mia felt different. She nodded resolutely, smiling at Oliver, who returned the gesture with a grin. We're ready. When the day of the event arrived, the church echoed with laughter, eager faces gathering under the banner that Mia had dreamt up. The energy was electric, the community came alive, businesses chimed in with support, and Mia stood proudly, a spotlight shining down on her, as she welcomed everyone. Her voice sparkled as she spoke. We're more than just individuals, we're a community. Together, we can provide hope and healing. Tears of joy glistened in her eyes when she spotted Mr. Thompson in the crowd, standing tall and beaming with pride. Her heart swelled. She felt her late mother's presence there, too, guiding her through every word. After that night, the messages transformed from whispers of doubt into cheers of encouragement. Mia had bridged the divide, igniting a movement of compassion and connection in their neighborhood. Together, they endured and rose, and the community flourished as one. Hope blossomed everywhere Mia looked. Each wave of support was a reminder that love can triumph over obstacles and unite even the most unlikely souls. And as time passed, she realized, true change begins with one brave voice, echoing through the hearts of many. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment your reactions and feelings about this incredible ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. This is the moment to show your support, and remember, only true fans understand the importance of uplifting the channel through these actions. Don't wait not even one more second to share.